chasing the rabbit so you don't have to. Here they are, Mark and Don, the two crazy guys.
All right, and welcome back to the second installment of this week's edition of the Two Crazy Guys. And hey, listen, we want you to go over to ContraRadioNetwork.com, listen to all the shows that are over there, and if you could find it in your heart to donate a couple of dollars to the Contra Radio Network, just go to www.ContraRadioNetwork.podbean.com and click on the donate button there, and donate a couple of dollars, because that's what kind of helps keeps all of this thing going. This is under the Contra Radio Network umbrella, and without John Jeffers and the Contra Radio Network, I think Mark and I would be lost anyway.
Yeah, and without support from our fans and listeners, it's hard to make it all work, on so many levels. So go over there, not right now, finish listening to the show, and then go over there. Well, you were talking about something that I was smoking and fuming about a few days ago, and it's a good thing my memory is crap, because I get all worked up and then I forget. Uh-huh. But you were talking about this college thing, which is a joke on so many levels.
Man,
from the funding and the student loans to now this whatever it is that's going on.
So this whole scam, this whole college, bribery thing, it's not something that's new. I mean, this has been going on for a long time, that only certain people get elected to these big, Ivy League colleges and stuff. But there's a difference, because it's never really, I don't think, ever been on this level to the point where and we're paying big dollars here to get our kids into these schools. Some of this Hollywood elite getting their kids into these colleges and stuff. And the first thing that came to my mind, Chelsea Clinton. And who came to my mind next? Malia Obama. Well, Malia Obama.
Yes.
How do you suppose those kids got into the college? Maybe. I can't prove it, and you will never hear, I'm just making, look, this is my freedom to express my opinion.
It's a conclusion.
I am pleading the First Amendment here, okay? For those of you in the NSA that are listening to this program. But, the thing is, it's insane and this is white elite privilege.
Yes.
Right? By the very people who have accused you and I, or Donald Trump and the rich Republicans, of the white privilege nonsense. And these are the very stinking people that are making those actions. Oh, you know who else comes to mind?
Maybe
it's the president.
No.
Who else comes to mind is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes. That chick. Was she a cocktail waitress at one time or something? And now she's
now she's an elite. She's got a doctorate degree or something, right?
Oh, wow. I've thought about printing a couple of those up for me, because I'm pretty good at, printing stuff that looks really official.
She's either got a doctorate or a master's degree or something. I don't know what the degree is, but yet
she went to bartending school. Maybe.
The dumbest thing, in my opinion, and here we are. Now it's all breaking out. I'm just wondering, it's unbelievable, Mark, what these people can get away with. The hypocrisy of the left it's unchecked in so many different ways. We talked about it a little bit in the first segment, with Hillary Clinton, and if you and I, or if anybody that Donald Trump knew had been caught bleach bitting hard drives and smashing them with ball peen hammers, everybody and their brother would be sitting in jail right now.
Right. And yet they get away with it, like we said, just carte blanche with their crimes. Well, and you know, I remember that movie with Rodney Dangerfield, Back to School or something.
He was great.
Yeah. And so there, rich people have always done things for universities to, you know, get somebody in and stuff. But now it's just flat out, give me money. It's not like they're building a building or a library or a hospital wing or something. They're just, you know, which is probably the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But now you're seeing it with people that aren't even, you know, philanthropists and stuff. It's just like, oh, can I buy my kid into college and stuff? And I don't see the point, because I think college is a waste of time unless you're going to become some kind of very specialized professional, you know, brain surgery or engineering or something. But, you know, these people go to school to get a degree in basket weaving or something, and they get these student loans, and then I'm supposed to pay for it. Like Bernie Sanders said the other day, you know, you went to school to get the best education you could find, and now you're stuck with this debt. And it's like, yeah, because you went to school to get the best education you could find, and now, yeah, you have to pay for it. There's that disconnect. It's like, well, yeah, but I don't want to pay for it. And I wouldn't mind sending people to school and maybe paying on the tax dollars dime or taxpayers' dime if we were getting engineers and people that were going to invent, you know, the speed of light travel or something cool like that.
Educated.
Yeah, because we need people like that can really bring some good to society. You know, so there should be a carve out for someone like that that's maybe poor and but really bright. But we're paying these $200,000 student loans for people that studied, you know, social engineering or whatever these new, you know, women's studies and stuff. It's like, you're not going to get a job in that because there are no jobs in that.
Right.
You know, they're not even picking a field that actually has a job application for it yet.
Right.
And that's what irritates me. And so it's just, yeah, like you say, these people decry this white privilege, and they're the ones that are doing it.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, Mark. You know, and by the way, where's the outrage? Where's the uproar from all of these kids that are, you know, in debt up to their elbows and will probably never get out of debt unless the Green New Deal gets through, and then all their debts forgiven. But
why go to school then? Because you don't even have to work to get money then.
Where's the outrage from these kids, man? You know, where's the outrage about these rich, white, privileged people that are, you know, I mean, just sucking the crap out of the system, man.
And you
I
know,
don't get it.
And Obama's daughter is a perfect example that it's not just white privilege; it's privilege.
Right.
You know, regardless, you know, whoever the rich family is, they can be from, you know, Mexico or Latin America or Africa or anywhere. If you've got money, you can buy your privilege.
Yep.
And then turn around and the taxpayers, which is, you know, everybody else in America that's not rich, is paying for a lot of this stuff. And we're the problem. You know, and so, yeah, it affects everyone of every color, these student loans and stuff. And they're off in La La Land, you know, let them eat cake, ha ha ha. You know, so, yeah. So you're going to talk about that on your other podcast?
I'm going to talk a little bit about it. There's just a whole lot going on this week that I'm going to just kind of touch on a little bit of everything. But I thought there would be good subjects for this program as well, because, I mean, we are about the issues and chasing the rabbits down the hole. Right. And this whole college scam that's going on right now is just, it's unbelievable. You know, I said it in my last podcast. I talked about, you know, if you remember when you were back in school and the bullies would pick on you and they would talk about, your family and all this other stuff, and they would, all the time they were picking on you about it. But then if you come to find out, they were the ones that were having those issues.
Right.
They were the ones that were having the family problems, and so they were lashing out at you. They were getting their inner hatred out at you. So the very same, these people that are the ones that are out there, Cortez is out there, Obama's out there. You've got this college scam and all of these things that they're throwing out there. They're the ones that are suffering from those issues. The rich white privilege, for example,
right.
The very people that are yelling and screaming to the hilt about rich white people, they're the ones that are suffering, that are actually guilty of that. Ocasio-Cortez, she's out there talking about all of the campaign finances and dark campaign money and all this other stuff. And come to find out, she's probably going to go to jail. Well, she won't go to jail, but no. She is in trouble. She's in trouble right now for that very thing.
Yeah, they got get out of jail free cards. And you know what's interesting about this disparity that they call it and all that, and income inequality. I lived in a really poor neighborhood, in Tucson, South Tucson actually. Mm-hmm. And I remember going to school where some of my friends were dirt poor. I mean, they had dirt floors. Yeah. And yet their families had pride. And I remember a lot of my friends would tell me, when I grow up, I'm not going to be a loser like my drunken father. So this horrible things that we consider as bad in America actually were motivation for a generation that grew up and said, if I want to get out of this rut I'm in, my family's in, I need to do something about it. Right. I need to, apply myself. Now, most of them ended up being gangbangers and drug dealers, but there was still that mindset among these kids in 5th and 6th grade that they didn't want to always be that way. And so I think life has to be tough to wake people up. Not that everyone's going to wake up, but, you have to live it and be it. And they want to protect everyone from it.
That's a good question. What's it going to take to wake people up? We talk about it all the time, Mark. We talk about it. The people don't care. They just don't care. They don't want to be bothered with it. But then one day, there's going to be a knock at the door, and it's going to be the guy that's coming to take you to the concentration camp or whatever it's going to be. And, then it's going to be, oh, my God, I wish I would have listened.
Right, because the Jews have all said that. Even the Germans said that weren't crazy.
Right.
But, if we would have stood against this in the beginning, this would have never happened.
Right. Listen, we got to go to break again. So right. Hold that thought. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break.
All righty.
Let's talk about tea. Not just any tea, getthetea.com. They have all kinds of cool stuff. They have cleansing teas, they have stuff for eye health, stuff from the sea, immune support, stamina and energy, food and protein, and just all kinds of cool stuff. Log on to the website at www.getthetea.com. Log on now.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch them next time as they dig into the issues. The Two Crazy Guys. Log on to the website at www.contraradionetwork.com.